Matty F, I have a very important question to ask you. Are you ready?
All right, I'll try to take it seriously. Let's
Thank
go.
you. Thank you. This might be the most important question that any man on the face of the earth has ever asked you.
Oh, no.
Oh,
All right.
yes. Hashtag real talk. Are you sweating yet?
Always.
Are you nervous?
Always.
Do you have heart palpitations?
Sometimes.
Okay. I can't tell if you're nervous or you're just an anxious busybody at all times.
Yeah, pretty much that.
Oh, on a scale of 1 to 10, on an average day, how would you rate your anxiety?
Ooh, are we talking level of anxiety or level of comfort? Level of anxiety, probably a good 8 at all times.
I would bump it up to a 9 because you got real anxious about that question even. Holy cow.
It's possible that I overthink things, I guess.
Slightly, might be slightly possible. Might want to talk to a counselor about that. You ever had a counselor, a therapist?
Many.
Really? Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
Have they quit your case or like, we cannot help you?
No, they were like, hey, man, you're good. You've got all the coping skills. So take those out into the real world. And then the coping skills, they wane over time, you see.
Mm-hmm.
You got to reinforce those coping skills.
Yeah. You're like a mighty mountain getting eroded by the winds of time.
That's depressing.
Well, I like to boost you up whenever I can.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Are you currently in therapy?
No.
Okay. All right. You seem to be happy. I don't see why you would seek it.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Here's my important question, Matty F. Matty F, do you have any bumper stickers or rear window decals or some other car tattoo to express to the rest of the citizens on this godforsaken planet your views and opinions on life?
No, I don't.
That is good. Do you understand why this is good? Because I don't agree with these stickers. I don't agree with these decals. I don't agree with people expressing themselves. Keep that under your hat, human.
Yeah, especially on the back of a car. I'm not going to take the time to read that and have like an internal debate with myself over what's on the back of your car. That's just weird.
It is weird and kind of the sort of thing you would probably do. Like have an intense internal debate about whether or not you agree with that opinion you just saw on that back window of that Jeep Cherokee.
Just get really mad at myself and just yell at my steering wheel.
God damn. It's pretty bad when Jeep Cherokees cause you to have deep existential questions about life.
That's true.
Like I have real world, that's hard to say, real world events happening day and night that cause me to question everything. I don't need some Jeep Cherokee just jumping the line and saying, hey, look at me. What's that do for you?
Get it together.
Get it together. I saw a window decal just yesterday. And listen, it's been a whole string of stickers that's ignited my righteous fury about this issue. It's not one. It's been a whole slew of them, but this was just the cake. You understand? The cake. I don't know what that means.
I think it took the cake.
Probably. I've worked myself right into a shoot, brother, so I can't even talk anymore. I'm so flummoxed.
HH.
Yeah. I'm glad you got that reference. No one else did, but you did. God bless.
That's why I'm here.
Mm-hmm. But I saw this sticker in the rear window of this truck as wide and tall as the back window would allow. And do you know what it said, Matty F?
I can only imagine. I'm excited. Hit me.
Redneck mudslut. You ever been a mudslut before, Matty F? You ever been a real slut for that mud? You ever get loose for a little bit of that wet dirt, Matty F? Huh? Fess up, kid. I want to know.
What does that mean? I mean, shudder to think.
Redneck mudslut. Someone was so driven to action when they saw this sticker in what the sticker shop, wherever you buy these dumb things, that they just had to have it in their lives. They're like, oh yeah, that's me. I'm about that life. I'm a redneck mudslut.
This concerns me and confuses me, and I wish you had performed a citizen's arrest on the driver of this vehicle.
I mean, I probably should have staked out the car like a real great detective and waited until they came out of the, oh yes, Walmart, because that's where I was. That may come as a shock or a surprise to the dear listener. But yes, I was at a Walmart where I saw this redneck mudslut sticker. I cannot attest to the looks or personality of the person driving this vehicle, but I do know they're a mud slut. They are a slut, a total slut for that mud.
Listen, man, I tried to do a little discreet Google here of what mudslut means.
Okay.
But the first thing that pops up is a decal sticker, mudslut hitting every hole.
Oh boy, that takes it up a notch, right?
Okay, so I think we're talking about mudding here. Was the truck muddy?
It was not muddy. It was very clean.
That's the thing, isn't it? These posers, they buy these trucks and they don't even go mudding.
They don't even go.
You ever been mudding?
No, I've never been mudded. You know why I never been mudded?
Because it's stupid.
Yeah, I've never understood the appeal of mudding. I mean, you just bounce around and do some donuts in a great open space and let out some hoots every now and then. I mean, it's kind of like being on a jet ski, only much, much sadder and poorer. That's what it's like.
Yeah. Yeah, and you just let out a couple yees. Is that what you do?
That's what you have to do, quite honestly.
It kind of it reminds me, this is a little tangential, but until I saw somebody mention it on Twitter, I never realized how many like impractical pickup trucks exist in the wild with like extended cabs and like ample seating, but then the truck bed is like 3 feet long.
Yeah.
You're not putting any wood in the back of that thing.
Yeah, you're not a lumberjack. I don't know who you're trying to impress. Sigmund Freud would have a lot to say about you, young man.
Mud slut.
Yeah. I mean, you can like a tractor pull, a mud bog, off-roading, and yeah, some mudding. But I mean, I feel like it takes a whole nother level to ascend to the title of mud slut.
The mud slut, redneck slave slut podcast. That's what we are.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really a step above your common everyday dirt hussy and a step below a mighty filth lord. So, you know, I saw another Windows sticker the other day. A Facebook quote unquote friend, you know, because I've never really spoken to this person in the past 25 years, took a stealth candid of this wild hoopty. It's in its back window. It read, "I eat MILF and cookies." What?
All right. I don't know about all this. What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, do you go to parent-teacher conferences in that truck? You think you drive around with that child in your vehicle, Matthew?
The logistics of this sexual encounter, I assume, is just. I'm trying to figure that out. Do you just have like a plate of cookies next to the bed? Is that what's going on here?
I don't really know. I mean, perhaps they like to. That's their post-coital dessert is a cookie or two, I guess.
Yeah, some people have a cigarette. Other people just a plate of Chips Ahoy.
I mean, how do you think that would go when you pick up your online date for the first time in that truck that says "I eat MILF and cookies"? Think that'd be real hilarious? Might as well have a sticker on that truck that says "I like making less than $25,000 a year." You know?
Yeah, or just a giant red flag decal, I would say, would do the job.
Right. Yeah, why waste time? Might as well use that ample bed space that you got there, that extra 3 foot, plant a giant red flag right in the center of it, like you turds like to do these days, flying your flags. Right next to that Trump and your "Don't Tread on Me" fly a giant red flag. There we go. Let's cut to the chase.
That's right. You mud sluts.
Yeah, mud sluts. Drop that beat, D-boy.
Put it in. We're drinking summer shandy on Thursday. so motherfucking out here, though. We never been this out here. Woo! So strange when there's change in the sea. What you know about Leonard Skinner? Whacker the intro, the hotter the verse every time, baby. When I've been working like a working man do, got my act together, gonna walk all over you. Pressure pushing down on me, pushing down on you. Shit, let's raise the roof. Woo! About time, it's the era of the rebels. Cloud nine and the air up in the vessels. Generation fearless, got a taste for weirdness. Flow on fire, that's the way my beard is. Hard times, jump starting the grind. It's all good, y'all. Things fall apart sometimes. Let it go, let me know when you're ready, though. Don't push me, cuz until the edge I'm close. When the time comes, ride for something. Or live to be 90 and then just die for nothing. Speak their heart, your baby, speak their mind. And I'ma play their part, and I'ma freak that rhyme one time for you. Rhyme one time for you. I'm an island, man. There ain't nothing else by me, man. And I drink enough whiskey to float a battleship around this bitch any motherfucking how. All up in the mix and the place to be. You down for the night, come fun with me. Like
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Miserable Retail Slave Show. I'm coming to you from the project outside beautiful Bay City, Michigan. My name is Randy, and with me is that mighty mythical misfit. His name is Matty F. What's up, sir? How are you?
It's me. Oh, I'm happy to be here. I'm ready to contribute to the discussion and be a good little mudslut.
Yeah, this time on NPR, we've got Matty F. with his somber tones of, I don't know.
I would say dulcet, but I mean, if you want to say somber.
You sound a little somber at all times. It's like somebody just kicked a puppy right in front of you.
Funny you should bring that up. I will have bunnies available to a good home in about 5 or 6 weeks.
Oh, God. Why are your rabbits
just let me know.
Constantly procreating? These rabbits.
Hey, man, that's what they do.
They do. I mean, there's a reason they're a metaphor for, the birds and the bees. You get it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Lots of rabbit metaphors when it comes to sex. It's really disturbing.
I mean, are there a lot of them? I mean, let's break them all down.
Okay, let's go.
all the rabbit sex metaphors. Well, that's why you're all here.
Doing it like rabbits. We got the birds and the bees. We got raw dog. We got doggy style. We got kitty wampus. We got sloth style. We got, I don't know. I'm just making this up, folks.
I might have to try sloth style.
Okay.
I'll have to bring that up.
Just kind of hang there and that might suit you, I think. The sloth style. I could see that.
Yeah, we just spent the day at the Detroit Zoo and we didn't see any sloths, so I kind of missed out on that. But I imagine there's just a lot of like blank staring.
Oh,
minimal movement.
Yeah. We went to the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, not a few weeks ago. Went to the zoo there. And the kids were real excited to see a sloth because they love sloths. And that dumb thing, we couldn't find it anywhere. I don't know where it was.
That's bullshit. Doesn't that sloth know that you were there to see it?
I mean, that was the only reason, quite honestly. Like, come out and say hi, you dumb sloth.
Yeah, like, we're in Ohio. Like, give us a reason to be here, please.
Yeah. This is going to be a good show, I feel like. I got them good vibrations like I'm Marky Mark and you're in a whole entire funky bunch, Matthew. So
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, now I'm questioning it with that voice. I didn't know we were cartoon characters now.
Let me try again. I'm glad to hear it. I agree. Let's do this.
Oh, it's funny that you just did a like that because I shouldn't talk about this, but I will. Recently, I worked with this fella that was only on for part-time, and he's a younger cat. And he was the greatest. He always made me laugh because he was always like freestyle rapping, and he would always end the rap. The period at the end of the rap would always be "a," and they were the worst freestyles you've ever heard. Like somebody would say a word and say a complete sentence, Matthew.
I received a summons to appear for jury duty.
Duty, fluty, like a dog, singing my duty like a booty. Hey.
Oh no.
Yes. He would always be like, hey. So I started.
I hate it.
I started doing that constantly. Hey. I still break out in really bad freestyle raps and punctuate it with a, because it cracks me the fuck up, and that should be the only reason I do it.
Did I tell you that I work with a guy that will just sing entire songs to himself while bagging groceries?
That's obnoxious. He's lucky the workforce is really getting a hurting right now, because otherwise I don't know how anyone could deal with that.
My favorite was when he sang the entirety of It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere.
Oh, God. Who knows the entire song of that? That's pretty impressive. I'll give him. Let me say that word again, or that sentence. That's pretty impressive. God damn it, I can't say it. That's pretty impressive. I would give him like plus 10 respect points for that one.
Well, what about when I tell you it included the part at the end where they do the banter back and forth, where they're just like, let's go. I'm gone.
Man, this guy's just an idiot savant when it comes to all the lyrics here. What's his primary genre of choice?
Usually country.
Oh, yeah. He's fucking with that country.
Yep.
Has he slipped into a little Alan Jackson Chattahoochee? It gets hotter than a hoochie coochie, because I want to be there for that one.
I think actually, yeah, he did once.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Come for the show, folks. Come for the show. You thought you were getting some eggs and butter. Little did you know you were going to get serenaded the whole time. One time I was at this little dive diner place in Millington, Michigan, Matthew.
I know Millington.
Yeah, you do. And the rest of America certainly doesn't. And the world. Anyways, it just rest assured, it looks like it's the back room of somebody's kitchen. Like it's like somebody's got their stove and their hot plates right there, and you're basically intruding on their space. This is what this place looks like.
That's charming.
Yeah, so charming. Any of the ways I was there with my sister and mom and grandma, I think, and we sat down, and there was a booth over yonder, and I mean the place was populated with olds. I think only olds go there. They seem to love it. And lo and behold, it seemed to be one of the olds, a righteous young lady that was real fetching for her age, I guess. It happened to be her birthday, and these three young lads, I say young in quotations because they were like, oh my God, the oldest, caught wind of this, and they got up and started singing happy birthday to her in perfect harmony.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was the most surreal experience of my life. I'm like, these guys have gotten so much ass over the years just doing this same trick. I was impressed. It sounded like a studio recording. It was like a barber shop quartet -1, but still spot on. I'm like,
you were an extra in a musical is what you were.
It seems like it. I think it was a Lin-Miranda Manuel joint, like Octogenarian, I think it's called. But man, they busted into it. Whew.
What a magical moment.
It really was. I'm glad I could be there for the last moments on Earth.
There's only 2 restaurants in that town that I know of, so I'll have to try both of them and see if that happens.
Yeah.
And I will report back to you.
It's the other one.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, okay. I finally watched that Hamilton that you love so much.
Oh, sweet. Let's talk about that for the next 3 hours. But only if you liked it. I want no criticism.
I did like it. So I got on the kick, you see. I've always wanted to watch this play. That's a film also somehow on Disney Plus. I got into it because I watched that In the Heights on HBO Max, and I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
And Pookie, my girlfriend, whom I adore, had seen Hamilton before, and she's like, "Oh, this is just like it." I'm like, "Oh, is it now?" I'd love to see it. And so I did, and I'm like, "This is really good. I'm into it." Who could have thought that anyone would give a single flying hoot about Alexander Hamilton?
Yeah, I think you have to be just like let go of any like historical accuracy and just enjoy it for what it is.
Sure.
And it's great. Yeah. Yeah. Did you cry? Did you get emotional?
No, why would I?
I don't know.
Did you cry?
Oh yeah, I cry like all the time.
Oh, that's cool.
I love that. I love that.
You love the sweet release of tears.
Yeah, give me those endorphins.
I think that's an age thing, though. I cry a lot more now that I get older.
Yeah, I think so. I think having kids kind of like softens you a little bit too, you know.
I almost cried earlier today when I discovered that my hair is really, really thinning. It's really a bad deal. Like, I feel like I'm going to have one of those, you know, those little Charlie Browns in the front. Real pathetic Bermuda Triangle of Sadness.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah. And then like the horseshoe around, you know, the classic middle-aged horseshoe.
Would you keep that?
No, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know if I should just rock it or not. Like, toupee or not toupee? That is the question. When's the last time you've seen a legit toupee confirmed in the wild, Matthew? I don't think they exist anymore, right?
I don't think so.
They shouldn't exist anymore.
No. I think there's a large contingency of people who are like, I'm just going to shave my head at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the world has progressed in many ways and then also backslid. But one of the things that has seemed to stuck is embrace the Baldwin. Embrace Alec
Embrace
Baldwin.
the Baldwins.
You know,
Yeah.
Stephen Baldwin.
First love the Baldwins.
That lost Baldwin that I can't think of. Joe Baldwin. Steve Baldwin. I don't know. I think it's become a thing to just embrace the baldness. Just grab a hold of it and deal. And nobody cares, and that's great.
You could like go for like a Hims sponsorship or Keeps or something, you know? You could get some money out of this.
Hims? What is Hims? Are they going to give me hair back? A little hair plug?
Yeah,
What's a hair plug? Do you know what a hair plug is?
I think that's when they just reminded me of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't know if you watched that.
I've seen the first episode.
Oh, okay. One of the characters just said he had like ass pores on his head from a botched hair transplant. So
it's hilarious.
So yeah, maybe they'll just shave your ass and put it on your head.
I mean, I don't have a hairy ass. Is it bad if I've got a bald head and a bald butt? My God. This is awful.
I don't know, man. Didn't expect this conversation.
Well,
so I'm not sure.
You brought it up. I mean,
it's true.
Jeez. It's really bad because I've had hair my whole life and not one good hairstyle to show for it. I've never been a Joe GQ with my fashion model hair and people looking and saying, "Oh my stars, that's a sweet shag. Look at that cool dude." Never really perfected the hairstyle.
Yeah, I think. Oh God, I'm just remembering all the like really crusty, like rock solid hair gel I used to use in high school.
Oh, same. You rock. Did you have that LA Looks?
Oh yeah, where it came in like several different colors, like yellow or blue or green or whatever.
I always had the yellow. For people that don't know, LA Looks was in this big bottle, and it had the one I had was like an amber color, like you were gonna find a Jurassic Park mosquito trapped within it. And there was all these little bubbles in it, which added to the intrigue and suspense as to how your hair was going to look. And it had one of those dispenser tops that would press like it was like hand soap, you know? And boy, it made you could headbutt a wall and break through it probably with a few tries.
Yeah, it would say like use like a dime sized, you know, drop or whatever. But like now, man, you would just just a mountain of that stuff on there. And like so many people had wet hair too. And it's like,
yeah,
you can just stab people with it. Like,
yeah. The wet hair look was in. Like, I used to use it and spike my shitty hair up, and I could probably kill a few people with it.
yeah, I remember one of my, I was going to say friends, but she betrayed me.
Oh,
Just walked up to me during class and just like rubbed the shit out of my hair. And it was, it left a flaky, disgusting mess. Oh my God.
that's always a betrayal. I remember going to bar nights and people doing that to me. I was always just so angered because, I spent some time on that hair and I really wanted to look good for all the ladies who didn't give me a time of day. And there I was with stupid hair now. Thanks a lot. It's funny,
I don't
though.
know. Maybe.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say maybe that's the blessing of losing your hair is you don't have to worry about that anymore.
I don't have to worry about a hairstyle. The funny thing
shine that bad boy up.
Yeah, the funny thing about that LA looks, like you always knew if you put too much in because your head felt a little bit heavier. It always did. Like,
yeah.
oh, geez.
Yep, a little bit of a helmet.
Yeah, I did it this time. I'm really jealous because you've always had this massive mop of a hair.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, nice and floppy. What are you, Italian?
Yeah. German and Swedish.
Well, I'm German.
Thank
too.
you for asking.
I'm German and Polish, and I didn't have to read the tea leaves. I knew this was coming based on my grandparents and my grandfathers and my father. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a thing. Damn it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, is there heart disease or diabetes or anything like that? I mean, could be a trade-off.
No diabetes. I guess a heart thing every now and then, but nothing that's like continuous. So for the most part, they're all long-lived. So I've got that going for me. I'll just have like wispy, stupid hair for the next 40 years. Ah.
Oh, I'm gonna be sad the whole time.
Yeah. Give me some of those stem cells to rub on my head. Let's grow this hair back.
Give me some of them stem cells to rub on my head.
Is that controversial? Perfect. Should I have not said that? Shit. What's the status of your hair? You got a bald spot anywhere?
I don't think so. It's receding a little bit. So that's why you always see me wearing it all moppy and disheveled,
I mean, mine started receding when I was like, I don't know, 19, and people made fun of me, but then it just stayed the course the whole time. And all those same people that made fun of me, theirs is receding farther and farther back. And I'm like, ha, gotcha. Until this morning when I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, no. Yeah, it kind of started for me when I was like 25 also. That's why it's just always down. I remember the first time I was like, oh, no. This is bad. So
it's so bad. I'm so sick of this. I'm a big fat. I've got all this wispy hair. Jesus, I'm like a little baby again.
Yeah. What are we going to do about it, though? Are we going to wallow in self-pity?
Yeah, absolutely. That's my favorite thing to do. That's how I spent most of my life. It's like,
fair
nobody
enough.
likes me. Let's listen to this sad Counting Crows song.
Yeah, you said I was here to make you feel better, though. But
yeah, you're doing a bang-up job, you asshole. God.
Just contact Bruce Pritchard. I'm sure he's got the hookups for who can sponsor the show and get you your hair back.
Chat me up, Bruce. How do I get some of that sweet cash?
One of my favorite things to do is send you and one of my other friends just random pictures of Conrad Thompson that I find. So here he is out in the wild. Here you go.
Conrad Thompson, in case you don't know, is a giant. Well, that was rude.
Wrestling fan.
Yeah,
he's a big wrestling fan.
He's a big wrestling fan, and he's created an entire podcasting empire based on rewatching retro wrestling. And he actually has like people from the industry on, including Vince's right-hand man, Vince McMahon's right-hand man. So it's very good if you like the old school wrestling.
Oh, for sure. That's the dream. That's the dream job right there.
Well, and it's kind of a bullshit thing because he was already rich from being a mortgage lord. So it seems somewhat unfair that he'd also have success in this.
Yeah, some guys have all the luck, Randy.
I mean, I have zero of it. I mean, why don't you throw a little my way, Conrad, CT, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Podcast war.
Yeah. I'm going to put out some
Look what we've
feelers
done.
and have them on the show. Hey, Conrad,
Yeah,
you
that'll
want to be
work.
on this pissant podcast here? You'd be like, chat me up. Why do you think you're special? I'm like, oh, I don't.
Oh, come on. Come on, buddy. Do you... I just want to go over there and give you a big old hug.
Gross. Matty F, the last time you were on was a few weeks ago, and between then and now, you've put another baby in your wife. So that's
true.
You've been really busy or getting busy. Am I right?
Hey, talking about rabbits.
Giggity, giggity. Bro, high fives.
Gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna be a dad again. Pretty excited. I'm gonna be a dad.
Man.
Yeah, we finally told our daughter. We took her to the pumpkin farm, and we took pictures with her.
That's how you tell a kid.
so we took her to the pumpkin farm, and we're like, look, you see pumpkins, they got seeds in them. Oh no. I thank you for laughing because it really showed me how absurd that sentence started. Took her to the pumpkin farm, took her out into a cornfield, took some pictures of her.
Sure.
We had her hold this sign that said, "I'm going to be a big sister," and she can't read.
She can't read.
So
she don't know.
She's just holding it.
She was a ploy for your marketing scam. Holy
That's
crap.
right.
You're going to get so many likes on Facebook.
Not many, because I was pretty insufferable in my younger days, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people just unfollowed me.
Oh,
but,
insufferable.
Yeah. Alas,
sabotage.
no clout from my daughter.
Damn.
But yeah, then we told her, and she said, "Oh, that's cool. Let's go look at the pumpkins now." I'm like, "All right, let's go."
I mean, she doesn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, she's excited now, but I'm a little worried she's going to be jealous. But
yeah, you know what's fun? Like, here's a little metaphor for you. Like, having one cat is really great. It's like, this is nice. This is a nice thing to have. And then you think, well, since having one cat is nice, having two would feel equally nice, right? And then cat one will have a friend, and you don't want your cat to grow up alone, do you? You don't want a lonely cat. But then you realize after a while, the cats don't really get along because the one cat hates the other cat because it feels like the one cat's getting more attention. The other cat is jealous for your attention, and suddenly there's more mess around the house because there's cat hair for days, and you could create an entire replica cat from a week's worth of cat hair that you vacuum up, and then, boy, you decide to add a third cat, and it's just a whirlwind of destruction. And then before you know it, you have a fourth, and suddenly you're labeled a crazy cat lady. Do you understand this metaphor? This metaphor? Do you want to be called a crazy baby lady, Matt? Do you?
I think we're going to call it quits after 2. I definitely get your metaphor as a person who at one point owned 3 dogs and 2 cats. I am definitely on board with this metaphor.
Okay, I'm glad. At one time we had 4 cats, and it was like, boy, howdy. And also 3 kids. So now we're down to 2 cats, but one's in the garage. So that almost doesn't count. And then we're down to 1 kid because we got rid of 2 of those too. So it's great. Just
Wait
kidding.
a minute.
Just kidding.
I was going to say, so what you're saying is you do want a bunny, is what I'm hearing.
Oh, my gosh.
That's what I'm getting from you.
Did you realize how bunnies actually were before you had one?
What do you mean?
They're gross and territorial and mean sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. That's why one of them lives outside now.
Oh gosh, that one of the bunny. So the girls had to have a bunny, right? So I inherited this bunny. I had no say in this bunny. This bunny was here before me. It has squatters' rights. But man, like last winter, that bunny was in this house, and I threw a fit every time I saw this thing. I'm like, oh my god, this gross thing. Because
just imagining you just walk into a room and you're surprised every time. What the hell is this thing doing
what
here?
is this thing? I was surprised just the other day because the bunny is outside. It's got this mansion pretty much, and it should be outside. I come in and I walk in the bathroom and I'm like, there's a bunny in here. And the first thing this bunny does, and I think all rabbits in general, they stake their territory. Dear listener, do you know how bunnies stake their territory? Do you?
I'm waiting for them to respond like it's Blue's Clues.
They should. Here is the answer to that. They immediately expel, on command, countless dozens of little rabbit pellets all over the place. It's the grossest thing. A little P, too, just for a punctuation mark.
Little P as a treat.
Yeah. These things are gross. You think they're real cute and cuddly? Sometimes. Other times, they're pooping all over the place to stake their claim. You know what's...
And then they eat it, too. You know, they just so you know, just so you're aware, they eat their poo.
It doesn't surprise me. You're
but
like
at Matty F on Twitter. If you want a bunny, just let me know.
Yeah,
Matty Flummox on Twitter.
You'd think, but Randy, there's cats in that house. How can a bunny live there? They're fucking afraid of that thing.
Yep,
rightfully so. The last time the youngest cat walked up to that bunny, it jumped on the cat and like bit its neck. So that was the last time that ever happened.
Didn't go for a little humpy action there?
No.
That's why Bubbles lives outside now.
lot of bumping and grinding, huh?
A lot of mountain going on.
Jeez Louise, what do you got going on there? A rabbit brothel?
Apparently.
Oh, man. It's funny, like you're going to have 2 kids, and I'm going to tell you, based on living in a house for 6 months with 3 children, it's exactly like that Baby Shark song.
Oh, man.
It's like,
yeah.
And I'm going to equate the Baby Shark song to your frustration. So you're frustrated with one of the kids, and it's like, Baby Shark, do, 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 do. And then mom has something to say, and you're like, Mommy Shark, do, 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 do. And then something loud hits the floor, and you're sure something expensive has been broken, and it's Jesus Christ, do, 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 do. Jesus Christ, do, 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 do. It's exactly like that. So
and then I run away.
Yeah, well, that's all you can do. You got to be that absent father. The rite of passage for manhood. You just got to go away for a while.
Gotta just go for a walk, get some cigarettes. You know.
I don't think you've ever been a drifter in your life, so you might as well try that out.
Yeah. Everybody's got to try that once in a while.
The other thing about having a multi-child, multi-animal household is the house always smells, and you're not sure if to blame the cats or the rabbits or the dogs or the kids. You don't know who's responsible. So,
yeah, and I don't even know, like, if I would say the house smells. I would say the house has a smell. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. It's kind of part of its legacy now.
You're just acclimated to it.
Yeah.
It's just where you are. But that reminded me, I did see something that I don't know if it inspired me or intimidated me to the point like I can't live up to this.
Okay.
But as we were leaving the Detroit Zoo, I'm carrying my daughter because she's exhausted.
Of course.
And we see like this guy just like pass us on, like, you know, those like little scooters you get if you break your foot. It's like a walking scooter with one wheel.
Yeah, you kind of kneel on it and scoot around.
Yeah. There's a dude just scooting away toward the front of the zoo with one child like on the seat in front of him, and then another one on his shoulders. And he's just scooting away with a broken foot, presumably after having done this all day to see all the animals for hours. And I'm like, that man is a king. I will never be this good at being a father. Yeah. It was amazing.
What are you going to do when you break your ankle, Matthew?
Yeah, seriously, because I'm just carrying my daughter like I'm so exhausted. And then here's this guy making me look crazy, making my wife go, oh, look at that guy. That man's a provider.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, go catch up to him. Get some tips.
Yeah, exactly. He's my spirit guide, and I didn't know it.
He should be your spirit guide, for crying out loud.
Sir, if you're listening, please reach out to me.
Yeah. For those that don't know, I used to work with Matthew at the Retail Paradise that gainfully employed me. And I know the title of the program now, Miserable Retail Slave, is somewhat of a fake out because I don't work in retail. Tommy kind of still works in retail, although in a restaurant serving capacity. So I guess that counts, yeah.
Yeah, that's worse. I could never do that.
Yeah, I think I would have a hard time like living and dying by the whims of the folks.
Yeah, like I don't have a stand-up routine to try out on people, so crowd work, let's go.
Crowd work, let's go. Yeah. Matthew, since you still work in retail, let's get a peek behind the curtain. What's really grinding your gears these days?
We listen, man. Still need help. Please come help me. And also, companies, please pay people more so that people will come help me. Yeah, I've been working too much. I think I talked about this last time, but yeah, I've just been working just way more than I want to. Like, you know, six days a week. I don't like that. It's too much.
I mean, listen, you were upgraded and put on that pedestal, on that purple pillow of being essential, and now you're not so much anymore. You're just there again, you know?
Yeah, I went from essential to like, well, of course you're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
You know?
That was a wild time for me because I worked there still, and this, I don't know if you folks heard about this or not, but there's been a coronavirus. Some would even call it COVID-19. It's been around for like, yes, I don't know, a decade, it feels like. And man, when that shit first hit the streets, nobody knew what was going on. And like the place where we worked were handing out passes for the cops in case you got pulled over because nobody was supposed to be on the roads. And you're like, what is this? What is this world? And
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I made sure it was always accessible. I'm like, I don't want to get, oh man, I'm so scared. And also I was constantly stressed out because I thought I was going to get the virus just from looking at somebody. And so I was a never ending anxious mess. And I just remember people walking up to me and like thanking me for my service as if I was a war hero. I'm like, this is weird. This is weird.
That happened a lot.
Yeah. And now it doesn't.
Now it's like, why are you so short staffed? And I'm like, because we're like 50 people short of what we need. And then they're like, okay, well, I'm going to yell at you then. I'm like, please, no, don't do that. But the one thing that happened the other day to show me that like nature is healing and people are getting back to normal, behaving the way they did before the novel coronavirus. A woman was paying for her groceries, and I looked up as she was taking money out of her mouth and handing it to me. You know, she had like a bunch of stuff in her hands.
Oh, okay.
And she, of course, had her money. She wasn't just like, can you imagine? Just like she's just carrying her money in her mouth with like free hands.
I had all sorts of questions. I'm like, what sort of magician are you? Like, I've seen dames pull money out of their bra, which is, but I'm like, I've never seen a whole bunch of bills pop out of a mouth before.
Like, hey, check this out. You'll never guess where I have my coins. But she pulled these bills out of her mouth and handed them to me, and I just like I could feel my pupils just get humongous. I was like, and I just said out loud, I said, why? Like, I'm having trouble controlling the words that come out of my mouth because I'm wearing a mask. So I've gotten used to muttering to myself for a year and a half.
Same.
But this time it just came out. Why? And I like immediately got like just an LA Looks sized pile of hand sanitizer and just went to town on that all over my hands.
Yeah.
Like, just don't do that.
I also did the muttering quite a bit, and I've carried that trait over, even though I don't wear a mask most places anymore. And I still just mutter right there, and because I just don't want to be around people, and I don't know. It's a bad trait to have a muttering problem.
Yeah, so many times throughout the day, I just say, "Fucking hell," just under my breath. Shit. What was I gonna say? Oh well.
I don't know. I'm not on your head. If I was, I'd be a neurotic mess.
I was gonna say I have a lot of brain fog lately, and apparently there it is. You know,
the brain fog is just the fact that you're getting older. Like, I used to think I was real smart, and now I'm just the dumbest person that's ever lived.
Oh yeah, I feel so stupid.
Yeah, I just can't comprehend anything. There's no point in me getting into any argument because I'll always lose. Because I'm like, well, I feel this way, but I don't know how to express it, so I won't. And then I'll just lose.
I back out of every discussion. Like on our podcast a couple weeks ago, I brought something up like, oh, the NHL is going to require ads on jerseys next year, and I don't like it. And Garrett was like, I think it's okay. And I went, okay, that's fine.
Cool. Great content.
So, yeah. Well, yeah, I think I'm going to bring that up at the jury selection. I'll be like, look, man, I will just believe whatever you say to end any conversation. So probably not a good idea to pick me.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you actually have jury duty? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I thought I was just freestyling. I didn't realize it was ripped from the headlines.
Came home from the zoo. Long day, but a great day. And I'm like, well, I'll go get the mail. The first thing I see is jury duty. I'm like,
damn,
you got to be fucking kidding me.
You got to go to that Saginaw County?
No, I got to go to Bay City.
Hey, bro.
What the hell?
Bro, that's weird.
It's too far.
It's not. It's like right down the road from me. It's like 5 minutes away, the courthouse.
Oh, sweet. I'll just stay at your house for 2 weeks.
Perfect.
That sound good?
You sure you're even going to have it? I've been selected, quote unquote, or gotten the letter like, I don't know, 4 times and never had to do it. I just had to call. And
yeah, I made it to age 35 without ever like getting a letter like this. So, but yeah, it's the one where you have to call every day for like however long.
Yeah, but that's a trick. You probably don't have to. You probably call the first day and they'll be like, oh, you're not needed.
Fingers crossed, baby.
And I'm like, God damn it, last person to be picked in gym again. Part of me, well, there's 2 parts of me. The one part of me is like, finds everything out of the ordinary to be a hassle and just the worst thing that could possibly happen. The second part of me is like, oh, that'd be good for stories. I'd love to go just to experience it once or twice.
Right, exactly. But then you're like, well, I can't really get into details.
Yeah, I'm probably not supposed to. Ooh.
Yeah, that'll just be a mini series on the podcast. All right, day 1 of jury duty.
Yeah.
Here's what happened.
Day 1, vague details about something I can't talk about fully.
Now, guys, help me solve the case. Here's all the evidence.
Yeah, we'll just play it like a game of Clue.
Yeah, that's right.
It was the trailer park lady with the dildo in the meth lab. She did it.
I've been playing this game on Twitch called Culpa Anata that came out in like 2009, and it's a point and click adventure where you try to like solve a murder, and I'm like, the government is clearly spying on me. They're like, his mind is primed for this. He's ready to solve cases.
You didn't realize it was a recruitment game. You had no idea.
Yep.
I see you. Tell people where they can find you on that Twitch, because you've got like thousands of followers. And
Twitch.tv/Matty F. I do not have thousands of followers, so feel free to follow and get me to thousands. Subscribe and give me money. I'm having a blast. It's a lot of fun.
Well, that's the most important thing. You do have people that interact with you, it seems like, though.
Yeah, we're playing Mass Effect, the Mass Effect trilogy.
We are Legion.
Yeah, true. Weird. Have you played Mass Effect? Because that is a direct quote.
Oh, is it really? No, I have not played Mass Effect. I'm aware of what the game is, but I don't even know what the game is, quite honestly. I've heard of it.
Yeah, you should get it. But yeah, Chad is writing their own backstory for all the characters, and it's a good time. So yeah.
Oh, that would be fun, I guess.
Yeah, it's actually really fun.
I haven't played a video game, and I don't know. That's something I really want to get back into, is playing video games. Can't seem to slice out a pie of time, I guess. But
do you want to come over and have a sleepover?
Yeah, play video games all night. Like I'm 8 years old, because that's what I did when I was 8 years old. I'd sleep over at my cousin's, and we'd play video games till 6 a.m.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then every time we heard a noise, we'd shut the TV off and pretend we were sleeping.
Buddy, are we the same person?
We must be.
That's so relatable.
Yeah.
Playing WCW versus NWO Revenge until 6 a.m.
Oh, that game is the best game ever made. Am I right?
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't have it anymore, though. I donated it like an idiot.
Well, that's dumb.
I was stupid.
Yeah, I still... Well, I theoretically still have it. I don't know where it is.
I have No Mercy, as you know, because Grant and I had a bunch of knockdown, drag-out fights on that game.
Yeah, well, I bought No Mercy day one, and like the problem with No Mercy day one is there was a bunch of initial copies were flawed, so you could have like title belts and shit, but it would randomly reset itself all the time.
You know? Oh yeah, it would wipe everything out, and you'd have to start over.
Yep, it was a known problem, and it really just irritated me to no end. Which is great. Video games these days, if they have a problem, there's a patch and they fix it, and that's awesome. It's ever evolving.
Yeah, what were you supposed to do? Take it back to like EB Games and be like, it's broken, and they'd be like, shut up.
Yeah,
get out.
Well, what's broken about it? Can you play it? Yeah, I can play it, but I had this like 6-month run with Al Snow as my hardcore champion, you see, and it just wiped it out, and that's not going to fit with the storyline in my head. They're like, what, you got mind stories about this game? Get out of here, dork. I'm like, oh, you don't understand.
Giving Al Snow a big push.
I was giving Al Snow a big push. He had a sweet, sick finisher in that game. That brain buster looked filthy. Oh.
You think that's what happens to Vince McMahon? He just... that's how he loses interest in people. His brain just gets wiped.
Yeah. Periodically, it just gets wiped. I guess we're going to talk about wrestling now, folks. So if you want to skip ahead, you can do that if you're not into wrestling. You think Vince McMahon is like, I don't know, washed up? He lost touch with reality, which is a popular narrative going around.
Yeah, probably. But also WWE is so big, I don't think they really care about making a super quality product. They just want to make, the baseline amount of money that they're used to, and they're cool with that.
Maybe. But I feel like Vince's competitive spirit is going to get fired up real quick because they're losing wrestlers left and right to this young upstart company called AEW. Like it's getting really bad where all of WWE's former top stars are seceding over. It's like the old days when there was a WCW, a rival company to WWE/F. And I think it's going to reignite a fire in the old man because I don't think the old man likes to lose at anything.
Yeah, but the problem is it just makes him like take over NXT and possibly make it worse, which is a bummer.
Yeah, there is that. But I also think he's made more stars than anyone else in this company in the wrestling industry. So I think if anyone, I don't know what the magical solution to win anything is, as evidenced by my middling podcast, but I feel like he's got enough like knowledge and know-how and made so many iconic characters that he could find a way to do it.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess at any point he can just say like, yeah, I think he's got to like have a moment where he says like, forget my pride. Let's let's let more people have input into this thing, you know? Because the thing about AEW is it's not just like old stars going there for way too much money. They're going there to like have creative control, and like who better to know like a wrestler's character than the wrestler themselves, you know?
It's funny because AEW is viewed as like the promised land and the glory, most glorious form of wrestling there possibly could be right now. And like all the former WWE stars are going over there and they're utilizing them in big bad ways, and it's really interesting. I'll give it that. But part of me thinks that there's going to be a problem pretty soon. Like egos are going to start rearing their heads.
Yeah, I guess like because once the more people that go there,
Exactly. The people that have been there for the longest time are losing their slots to these guys that are already established superstars. And there's going to come a time where egos are going to start raising up and complaining. I mean, I know it's supposed to be the utopia of all utopias as far as professional wrestling, but it's going to happen. It's bound to happen.
yeah, wrestling is so weird. It's hard for me to come up with a solution because it's like it's not a sport, so it's not, a lot of it's based on merit, like how good of a wrestler and a character you are, but it really is someone making a decision to put you on TV instead of someone else. So yeah, if you've got enough people that are there who believe I should be on top, but they're not, like you're right, it's going to be a problem eventually.
Yeah, and I wonder what happens when a big AEW star goes over to WWE, because it's going to happen at some point.
This probably isn't what you're talking about, but can you imagine Orange Cassidy shows up on Monday Night Raw?
That would sell the people who Orange Cassidy is as a professional wrestling character.
Orange Cassidy is Randy. He is he's a man who I think the way he's been described is like the personification of a hangover.
That's amazing. It is me.
Yeah, he's you. He wears torn jeans and a jean jacket, and he starts like almost every match with his hands in his pockets, giving minimal effort, kind of like Homer Simpson when he would just let the professional boxers beat him up until they got tired.
Sure.
He will both take abuse and also perform acrobatic feats to get out of situations and avoid being struck, with his hands in his pockets, with a blank expression on his face. And the crowd goes insane. It's amazing. But there comes a time in a match where he eventually turns it on, like he's been saving his energy for the big finish, and he'll just pull out ridiculous moves like Canadian destroyers. Look that up if you don't know what it is.
It's
probably
the most impressive, devastating move that I never understand how people don't get hurt when they do it.
Yeah, it looks like you should break your neck every time. It's amazing. But like the kind of arc that I described that happens during a match, it's also his entire character arc, because every time you see him, hands in pockets, like blank expression, no, very little emotion. But every once in a while, he'll have a character moment where he'll just freak out and start cheering on one of his friends or partners, and it once again the crowd goes insane just because it's so out of character for him. Everybody's rooting for him. It seems it's the coolest thing.
He also has a move where he dives over the top rope with his hands in his pocket, which is either amazing or insane and suicidal, depending on how you look at it. I've heard it described as innovative, and I've heard it described as reckless, and I feel like it's somewhere in between.
Yeah, you were relying on the person to catch you there.
Totally. Like you have no safety net whatsoever.
Oh my God. Orange Cassidy. Look up his matches on YouTube. There's plenty of them.
Yeah. And then you'll be like, why does anybody watch this shit?
Yeah. Just imagine him on Monday Night Raw. I don't think that'll ever happen.
No. Of all the characters they could possibly sign, it's not going to be him.
Yeah. Maybe Colt Cabana will make a comeback.
Yeah.
Bring back Scotty Goldman. I don't know. I think a good place to start, just watch Survivor Series 1998. That'll get you into wrestling, or at least make you understand it.
I really have a urge to go back to like 1990 and watch everything on through. I've wanted to do that for a while, but I'm at the age where I have to pick and choose my battles. It's like you have limited time on this earth, and you have all this stuff you want to get done. So,
hey, I've recommended OSW Review to you before, so check that out on YouTube. That'll pretty much do that for you. Just start that from the beginning.
OSW, what is this? Are they going to story time me the history of wrestling?
Yeah, it's old school wrestling review. It's a video podcast, so they somehow bypass WWE's copyright, and they just talk about old pay-per-views. I think they start like at the beginning of the Hulkamania era, and they just go.
They just fart noise, apparently.
Yep. They fart into the microphone.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you'd like it.
You mentioned earlier how you're going to have you put another baby inside your wife there.
Yeah, that's right.
So we, as of today, like a few hours ago, we started the adoption process for a dog.
Okay.
Did you realize this was a process? It's like you're adopting a young child from a third world country. It's amazing. So
yeah, it must be rescuing or something then.
Well, it's from a society of some sort. I don't know. They had this event at a brewery, and my girlfriend was like, "Oh, I'm going to take the kids and we're going to play with puppies." I'm like, "You're going to want one of those puppies." No. Like, you've been wanting a puppy for a while. No. Sure enough, I want this puppy. It's a text message I get.
Women.
Oh. So the process, you had to fill out a form and stuff and like claim your interest, and they're like, well, it's you're on a list and other people might be interested, and then we have to open it up to the general public. Like, why is there an initial list then? What sense does that make?
So you go on a list and then it's open to the general public first?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It is weird. Like, if I call dibs, I should have dibs, bro.
Yeah.
If I call shotgun, you can't jump into my seat. It's against bro code.
It's true. They don't follow bro code.
Yeah.
Or the rules of the playground.
So then, like a few, right before we started recording, she got an email from this place, and with another form she had to fill out, and it's like, what kind of household do you live in? What are your intentions with this dog? How do you plan on training this dog? What kind of careers do you have? It's like, Jesus Christ. Am I being vetted for, am I going to have to answer questions in front of a panel of my peers to get this dog here?
You're getting code word clearance with this thing.
It's crazy. I'm like, this dog better be like Lassie and save me if I ever should fall into a well.
Do you have a well?
I don't have a well, but I live in Bay City. There's plenty of bays I could fall into, so there's waters everywheres.
So, like, where are you at in the process now?
I have no idea. Just waiting, I guess. I don't know if we have. I don't know.
That's funny. Like, yeah, it sounded weird at first, but I remember now when we got our dog Odin back in the day, little miniature pincher. He was at the county animal control, and my wife visited him like every day because she really liked him. But yeah, I remember she like signed something to show interest to adopt this stray dog. But they said like it's also first come, first serve. So she had to, like, the day he was opened up to the public, they opened at like 8 a.m. She got there at like 6 a.m. and just like sat there, and she like knocked on the door and was like, "I'm here first, right?" And they're like, "Yes, we have you written down as you are here first. You can wait in your car. You don't have to stand at the door."
It's like she was buying tickets to the Toad the Wet Sprocket concert.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but there was another couple that got there after her, and they were all upset about it. So I don't know, man. You might have to do something like that.
Camp
hang
out
outside.
Front of the place.
Yeah.
God, is this record store day? This is weird.
Record stores. Oh no.
Yeah. There's going to be a whole mourning period if we don't get this dog.
Yeah, you're going to have to be prepared, my friend. You might have to do hand-to-hand combat.
I mean, I've been practicing my fatalities, so I'll be able to do that.
Yeah, don't put that on any forms.
Okay, my fatality skills got it. All right, I won't. I don't know. I think that's about it, right?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Unless we want to talk about how I regret not getting Dippin' Dots at the zoo. I mean, that's all I got.
Okay, let's talk about it. You got to come up with a better style.
That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, people, for listening today. Hopefully, we're the adopted dog that you will want to adopt and cherish and take into your home, in your hearts, in your ears. And we won't even make you fill out an adoption form either. You can just download this shit and we'll be like, cool. You know?
I might rub my ass on your carpet though. So just a possibility.
Sometimes your bum gets a little itchy and you have to do some things that might be a little uncouth. No one will fault you for it.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Matty F, thank you for guest hosting once again. Tell the people where they can find you.
Listen, you can find the Flummoxed podcast on Spotify, Apple, or in your little podcast app. Just type in Flummoxed. You know how to spell it. Or twitch.tv/Matty F. Hang out, watch me play video games, make fun of me, tell me I'm trash, give me money.
And also on the That's a Shame podcast, the Seinfeld rewatch podcast that's launching this week with me and Matty F.
Oh my God. I'm so excited. Listen, you guys, I'm so excited. This is great. I bought DVDs. I got a notebook. I'm ready.
He's so ready. We've got the first 3 episodes in the can already. We recorded them like 18 months ago, it feels like.
Yeah. It was a different time.
It was a different time. We were in different places. We were different people.
But we had more hair.
Aw. But that's coming out this week. So look for it on your favorites, whatever. It's a rewatch podcast. We're starting from episode 1 of Seinfeld, the award-winning, groundbreaking sitcom-ish thing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll take a few tangents along the way. Who knows where we'll land or what we'll do, but it's good fun. So go ahead and listen to that. As for Tommy, he's out in the Midwest being funny, allegedly, and oh man, I saw Tommy last week. I don't want to tell secrets out of school, but he fucking killed.
Hell yeah, Tommy.
Hell yeah. It was in a backwoods bowling alley. But I mean, the place was packed, and and the first 2 comedians kind of ate a big bag of dicks. And I'm like, oh, this isn't going to go well for old Tom. But man, he fucking killed. They were all about that, man.
Good job, Tommy. We're pulling for you.
Yeah.
We're so proud.
It's awesome, too, because he promoted the podcast exactly 0 times.
Tommy!
So I'm like, this is the exact same place where you need to promote the podcast because all these folks would have listened. And now that's squandered.
Maybe next time, Tommy.
Maybe next time. Hopefully we'll see you maybe next time. Till then, stay miserable. Bye-bye.